I'm Stone.
Stone, good to meet you, sir.
And I'm assuming you know Erica.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Problem child, yeah. You know me.
So, give me the lowdown real quick on the car.
Okay, so upon first kind of inspection, obviously we said, well, Erica had mentioned battery's low, right? So put it on the tester, and lo and behold, it's rated for 800 cranking amps, and it's putting out 865 or something like that.
Okay, so still good.
So it's good.
Yeah.
Battery's fine. Erica, you tried to crank it that one night, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So that, in combination with the fact that the battery's in good shape, it tells us that this is not a battery issue. Okay, motors have a tendency to kind of want to get locked up. Okay, it's called hydro lock. Whenever oil seeps down into the top of the cylinder head, and literally a quarter to an eighth of an inch of oil sitting on top of the cylinder head, and that engine is not gonna want to turn over, because those crankshafts they're finely balanced. Okay, so any kind of different weights, and the motor essentially kind of says, no more, no mas.
Did y'all pull the plug and look down in the cylinder?
Yeah, not quite yet. So the idea is obviously at this point to pull the plugs, put a borescope down there, get a good idea of what's actually going on, and then take some pictures, obviously for evidence, like we talked about.
Yeah.
That way, at the very least, we can tell if there's oil sitting up there. Then this is beyond a maintenance issue. This is like internally something is preventing the motor from cycling the oil in the right passages. Okay, so off the top of my head, you can think of a handful of things that can do it, right? So like a PCV valve that isn't appropriately put on there, although a lot of times with performance stuff, they'll delete the PCV because you don't really. Well, the PCV and the EGR will delete it sometimes.
Yeah, just delete the EGR.
Yeah, there you go.
Which was deleted before the motor was installed as well.
Yeah. So theoretically, only other thing I can think of is passages are blocked to the point where it's not allowing the oil to go back up into the head. Okay, so it's getting stuck somewhere in between there and finding its way to the next opening. Okay?
So
which would cause the dipstick to also shoot out, I guess, maybe?
Correct.
Your dipstick shot out?
Yeah, it's been doing that. Like, do you know how much of a pain in the ass?
Her car.
That should piss me off.
So this was a build. I guess you just think it's a bad engine.
So far, just based off of, because we've talked about this car for a little bit at this point, and just based off of the things that
3,000 miles on a motor.
The evidence that keeps piling up at this point. First of all, no engine should spit out a dipstick or oil through the dipstick tube, right? Because that means that there is a superfluence, or there's too much pressure. Okay. Again, generally that pressure either is vented through the PCV valve, or it finds its way around through the passages, and there's got to be a blood passage in there. Is what I'm thinking. Okay. Because other than that, maybe valve stem seals. But valve stem seals don't cause like a faucet of oil into the top of the cylinder.
I have burned valve stem sleeves before, so
right.
Yeah,
it's usually a small trickle, and you'll smoke up a little bit
upon
every
startup,
once in a while. It's not the end of the world, and it's sure as hell not going to hydro lock a motor.
No, man.
But that's kind of right now, based off of the little bit of time that we've dedicated to it.
Okay.
Our strong suspicion is hydro lock on that motor.
All right, so we'll wait until you completely verify it. Then I guess I'm gonna have to go have a talk with this guy, because he blocked her on Facebook, blocked her from everything, and
this dude just doesn't seem like he's willing to stand behind a product that he's put forth.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, like, everybody has a bad day. I understand. I understand things come up, things change, but if you're going to call yourself an engine builder / service repair person, you need to stand behind your work. And frankly, like I said, drivability wise, I don't care how hard you would have driven it. You would have spun a rod or cracked the crank or spun a camshaft or something.
Try to send a piston to the moon.
Right, but it would have been like hard physical damage if you were out there just romping on it, consistently,
Exactly.
right?
You only drove it for what, a month?
Less than that, yeah. Literally, that thing has sat in my driveway for so long, and then on top of that, like, literally, I've put at least 7,000 miles on my Miata. And that car has been towed back to him at least 12 times at this point. And it's been, this job was done in January.
Well, it sounds like his unwillingness, because generally, if you've got something to hide, just try to avoid as much contact as humanly possible. Like, let's just hope this goes away, kind of thing. Let's just hope it goes away. But
Fact.
Well,
And blaming
we'll
females
inspect
for
some more,
drivers.
And then when we have it verified, I don't say anything beforehand.
Sure.
And
Sure.
maybe something else, which I don't think that's the case from what you told me, but
Well, it just
I'm gonna wait. Until
Highly
you actually-
unlikely.
there has to be something going on there as far as either again a build issue or a build error where something didn't go the way that he wanted it to go,
Yeah.
or again internally some component failed. And again, based off what you told me, it's a brand new reman motor, basically,
Yeah,
right?
so when we get some paperwork and stuff, and you do a further inspection, you know
Yeah,
yeah.
So
and
we're
look-
at the
actually look
point
at
where
piston, yeah.
our most logical thing is to again pull plugs, put a borescope down there, and just kind of
Right,
look to
yeah.
see what's on there.
Well, when you do all that, let us know, and we'll just go from there. And
Hold on.
You can't go any further. Should it?
At this point, no.